Hi, my name is Javier. If you're watching this, and you most likely have gotten some paint protection film from our shop or a ceramic coating or both. So I'm going to show you guys here how to maintain your vehicle when you've got some PPF or ceramic coating on your car. The biggest thing that you want to do is make sure you rinse the car out properly. That could be with a pressure washer or with a hose too. You really don't need that much pressure for PPF or ceramic coatings. That's the whole point. So this car did have a lot of bugs on it. I actually got most of those off with just the pressure. So very, very straightforward. You guys can see there's some bugs on here too. Comes right off. I mean, you don't have to use that much pressure. That's what this is for. What you do want to do is make sure that you clean the vehicle as best as possible before you actually have to touch it. So I'll show you here. Pretty much have to rinse up the area. I'm just going to show you guys how to do the front end on this. You can see it's beating off, but ideally you want to start at the top and then work your way down there too. So we'll start off by rinsing it with a pressure washer, or with this works too. You can go with something very light. I would be very, very careful if you have PPF with the corners. Just make sure you're not spraying like this way, you know? I mean, you can mist it. Just make sure you're not focused on here or on this, on here with the paint protection film. Pretty much rinse it out. After you do that, I'll show you guys which soap to use. It's pretty good stuff. I like this soap because it doesn't have any carnauba wax or any hard chemicals that might be hard on the coating or the PPF. The biggest thing is to make sure you try to do this stuff in the shade, especially if you have a black vehicle. So I'll show you guys exactly, and I'll show you the picture and kind of where to get that soap that I would recommend. You can put it in a spray bottle or in a foam cannon. In this case, since we're not using the pressure washer due to noise reasons, we're going to go ahead and put it in a bottle. And I basically mixed it 10-to-1. So I'll probably fill it up with 10% of pure soap and the rest with water. Make sure you shake it very well. And what you want to do is you want to mist the area that you're working on. Now, I did prepare a bucket, again, with the same thing, 1/10. So I added soap in the bucket and the rest of water. So same percentage mixture on those two, and I'll label all that in the description as well too. So you want to make sure you soak up the area as much as possible. If you have to do more than one rinse, if you have a coating, I'd recommend doing more than one rinse, just because it's not PPF, you're more likely to scratch something. Technically, the more you do it, the less likely you are of damaging the ceramic coating. And the odds are, I mean, it's pretty sturdy stuff. So anywho, now that I got that all done, I'll go ahead and grab a clean microfiber towel. Now, I already washed the car, so I'm only using one bucket. I'd recommend if you have two, one with full of water and then one with that mixture that I mentioned before. And basically what you're going to do is every time that you're going to clean a panel, did it in 4 pieces here. Every time that you clean a panel, you got to make sure you're obviously as even as possible. You don't want to apply too much pressure. If you have a coating, if you have PPF, go at it. But I would pretty much, after doing one panel, what I would do is I would soak it. I would clean it, soak it in the bucket with water first, clean it up, then put it back in soap bucket. I already washed the car, so I'm not doing that just for the sake of the video. So then I'll go here, and then I'll move on to the next section. If you have PPF, just be careful on those corners. Odds are you don't need to apply much pressure anyway. So yeah, if you have a coating, just like I said, just glide you should not have to add any pressure to it. If you did do a good job with the amount of soap that you put in the bucket, so you don't have to really worry about that stuff too. So yeah, I would just take note of kind of any spots that if you have clear PPF, since it doesn't always cover everything, like this color change, just keep aware of those areas so you're not basically going over it and then pulling back the film. It's going to be, again, really tough, but what you want to do is you want to minimize as much risk as possible, any potential lifts or any damage to the PPF. The coating's different, you can't really peel that, but yeah, that's pretty much what you want to do. As far as the actual physical wash, I'll show you here. You just want to make sure you're as even as possible with everything. Like I mentioned before, again, if it's dirty, flip it over. You have 8 sides. yeah, that's pretty much how you wash it. And then when you're done, just make sure you rinse it. I would make sure to dry it as fast as quick as possible if you're in the sun. If not, I mean, don't really worry about it. And again, I would use a new towel to dry it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing too difficult on there, but yeah.